بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إذا الشمس كورت وإذا النجوم انكدرت وإذا الجبال سيرت وإذا العشار عطلت وإذا الوحوش حشرت وإذا البحار سجرت وإذا النفوس زوجت وإذا الموءودة سئلت بأي ذنب قتلت وإذا الصحف نشرت وإذا السماء كشطت وإذا الجحيم سعرت وإذا الجنة أزلفت علمت نفس ما أحضرت فلا أقسم بالخنس الجوار الكنس والليل إذا عسعس والصبح إذا تنفس إنه لقول رسول كريم ذي قوة عند ذي العرش مكين مطاع ثم أمين وما صاحبكم بمجنون ولقد رآه بالأفق المبين وما هو على الغيب بضنين وما هو بقول شيطان رجيم فأين تذهبون إن هو إلا ذكر للعالمين لمن شاء منكم أن يستقيم وما تشاءون إلا أن يشاء الله رب العالمين.
Hey, what's up? What's up, everybody? What's happening? Let me know if you can hear me. First order of business, please let me know. Put it in the chat. Let me know if you can hear me. All right. Everybody, click the thumbs up button for me, and we can get this party started as soon as y'all let me know that y'all can hear me. Money Mo, Cash and Control. What up, man? I hope you gonna make that Saturday class, man. Yes, let's put that money to work, man. Saturday is gonna be interesting, breaking out cash flow again and whatnot. What is that? Picosa 773. Appreciate you, Janine. Thank you. Appreciate y'all. Everybody clicks the thumbs up button for me and whatnot. Dr. Quantum is in the building. What's going on? Hopefully we have a smooth broadcast. Okay, Janine, the other Janine. I got two Janines. All right. Yeah, hopefully everything is copacetic. I had to remind me, y'all. I had to go to incognito browser on Edge because Chrome gives me problems over here, and I'm wireless. I ain't even got my thing hooked up. So hopefully, everything goes smooth and whatnot. All right, so let's get into a conversation for Friday's khutbah, the best Islamic lecture you're gonna get that's out here on Fridays and whatnot. All right. So today's conversation is called The Secret 12. All right. Before I get into the Secret 12, let's get into a little bit of Quran to show you something real fast. Give me a second. Let me get that banner off for a minute. All right. So those are the believers. Truly, for them are degrees with their Lord in forgiveness and noble provision. Another translation says, those are they who are in truth believers. For them are grades with their Lord in pardon and a bountiful provision. The point of showing you this here is, as the Quran says, Allah raises in degrees those whom he wills. But it's clear here that you can be a believer, but there's a separation within the believers based off of the degrees in which you believe. Or should I dare say, within the belief of what we should know for certain. That's major. So let's come to this verse where it says, and on the earth are signs for the certain. So now you ain't got to believe, you certain. And in yourselves, then will you not see? And in the heaven is your provision in whatever you are promised. One of my favorite verses, right? So on the earth are signs for the ones who are certain, and in yourself, which is soul. Yourself is soul, and in yourself, then will you not see? That's deep, because then something's taking place in yourself, but it's like, and you still can't see it. So I talked about it in this work here called The Four States of Believers. Yes, where you got a believer, then you have someone who knows for certain, then you have an actual Imam, and then you have a prophet. Yes. And I showed in that particular work how even the prophet, I should have put it in here, even the prophet, when you understand the root word for prophet, Nabi, is mentioned 160 times in the Quran. But the numerical value for the Mukina, the one who knows for certain, equals 160. So in order to be a prophet, you must know for certain. So I really should have put that in here. All right. But you can trust me when I tell you that. Right. So to be a prophet, you must know for certain. And that's what the prophets do. Yes. They don't really necessarily come with something new, but they come with a similar mission, which is to course correct humanity. It's a course correction that's taking place. Right. But my point here, y'all, is as the Quran is specifying in the previous verse that you are raised in degrees, then please do your due diligence to understand what this verse says, to see the signs within yourself. Should have broke out Fusilat, because over there it flat out tell you that the signs are on the horizon and within themselves. That's what it says over there. Yes. So you have to make a correlation. All right. All right. So I want to put that there. All right. So we're going to go across a few different cultures today. All right. We're going to make it super plain, simple, and kind of fast. This is not no 2-3 hour conversation today. But just to show you the vastness of this same story that keeps being told over and over and over again. So let's go to Egypt. We love to go to Egypt. Let's go to Egypt. Egypt has something called Ra's journey through the 12 gates. The 12 gates of Ra. This is something that they have. What I find very ironic, ladies and gentlemen, the 5th gate is a chamber of fire. I said, oh, that's interesting, because the 5th house is Leo in the astro science, which is a fire sign. Yes. When you get to the 7th gate, the judgment hall, I said, whoa, wait a minute. Hold on. Judgment. Wait a minute. The 7th sign is Libra, the justice scales. The 8th gate, transformation and renewal. I said, no. The 8th house is the Scorpion house, the house of transformation. Yes, even the 9th gate, the starry abyss. The starry abyss, the 9th house, Sagittarius, that's where the Milky Way, known as the galactic center, yes, the galactic center in the Milky Way is in this region of space. All laid out right here in Egypt. Zodiac signs. Okay. All right. Moving on. So let's come to the infamous Anunnaki. Yeah, the infamous Anunnaki. Yeah, Mesopotamia. So they say, hey, mole of 12 sacred numbers of the Anunnaki. 60 is the royal ruling number of Anu. A 12-pointed star is his planet's symbol. The number 12 is a sacred number given to us by the Anunnaki for Earth. Momol is an Anunnaki term for our solar system of 12 members, 9 planets, sun and moon, and the planet Nibiru, comprising of 12 celestial gods. Many things on Earth are centered inside Nibiru's number 12. So according to this source here, they're saying that the Anunnaki, Anu, has a 12-pointed star, and the planets in the solar system consist of 12. Okay? Yes? Now let's come to Norse mythology. When you're dealing with Thor and the hammer. Yes? Well, it's real simple. They have 12 gods as well, or a goddess maybe inside of them, I'm sure. Yes? From Odin to Freyr to Hel, Loki. Yes? So they have 12 in their cosmology of gods as well. Yes? Let's go over to Buddhism. The 12, what is that? The Nianas. What is that? They said in Buddhism, this is a chain of cause and effect that explains the cycle of suffering and rebirth, or samsara. They are the ignorance, formations, consciousness, name, form, the six senses, contact, sensation, craving, grasping, becoming, birth, old age, and death. Understanding and breaking this cycle is central to achieving enlightenment. So the Buddhas say, hey, there's something about the number 12 in these stages that the human being must go through and understand to break the cycle. Interesting. That's what they say with the Buddhists. So since we in China, well, over in Asia, let's go to Far East. Let's go to China. China says, hey, we got 12 earthly branches. You may know it as the Chinese Zodiac. You got the tiger, which you got the rabbit, the dragon, the snake. I'm a dragon. Pretty cool. All right. A snake, horse, monkey, dog, pig, whatever. Yes. So even in the Chinese, you have 12 earthly branches. Yes. Let's come over to India. Over here, they say, hey, you have 12 solar deities, sons of the goddess Aditi and the sage Kashyapa. Yes. Cash. Yes. Representing the sun in different forms as it moves through the months of the year. Common names of the 12, and they get into it. Yes. So they tell you flat out in the Hindu, hey, yeah, these gods and goddesses are assigned to the different stations, 12, that the sun goes through, i.e., we know them as months, or we should really know them as zodiacal signs. Forget January and November. November is really a representation of something. Yes. What's behind the sun in November. Okay. So we get it flat out over here in India. So now let's come to another legend, a legend called Arthur and the 12 Knights of the Round Table. Yes, this is where you get Sir Lancelot from. Okay. He comes from here, probably the most popular one. So now you got Arthur and his 12 knights. Interesting. Why 12? Okay. Then you come over to the Greek and you get the Titans, the dramatic battle between the Titans and the Olympian gods. The original Titans are 6 brothers and six sisters. Yes. The Titans are the parents of the Olympians in their mythology. So you got 12 Titans, as you can see, and then you have 12 Olympians right here. Zeus is Jupiter, Poseidon, the planet Neptune, Aries, the zodiac sign Aries, what we would call Mars. Hades is Pluto. Hermes is Mercury. Aphrodite is Venus. Apollo is the sun. Yes. Athena, we can really say from more on a sign, it could be Virgo, wisdom. So you have it here, right? 2 times in the Greek, yes, which the Romans is going to come later and copy the same thing. So instead of Aries, you got Mars. They went to the planets, yes. So Romans, we know, copy the Greeks. So then it comes down to our Bible, known as the 12 tribes of Israel. Yes, Judah has always been the most popular one, I think. The lion, that's Leo. When they talked about Joseph in the Bible and you would be attacked by archers, archers is who? Sagittarius. Yes. And Joseph was that. And Joseph is the one that's the dreamer to say, hey, everybody, dad, I had a dream that the sun and moon, which is mom and dad, and the 11 stars bow down to me. This Joseph in this dream inside of, it's both in Quran and it's in the Bible. And I told you what that's symbolic for, because it flat out says in Genesis, he's attached by archers. Archers is Sagittarius. What's in Sagittarius? The Sagittarius, as I said earlier, is the Milky Way center. Our whole Milky Way rift lines up right there with Sagittarius. The center of it is December the 18th, known as 26 degrees Sagittarius. Okay. So if that is the Milky Way galaxy sits behind Sagittarius and Joseph represents the archer of Sagittarius, then what he's saying, all of them bow down to me. Yes. Because the whole entire zodiac in our sun, the whole our solar system, as I put it, let me just say the zodiac, the solar system, sun, moon, Mercury, Venus, all of that. We're all going around the Milky Way galaxy in a journey that takes about 250 million years to complete. And if the center is in Sagittarius, the author styled it and said, hey, all of y'all bow down to me, Mr. Sagittarius, because I'm the center point reference. Okay, that's true. But even Sagittarius is being pulled somewhere. Even all the 47,000 galaxies is being pulled somewhere, as I talked about previously. But anyway, in the Bible, we have these 12 tribes. And then we come to something that's known as the 12 judges of Israel in the Bible. Please note, there's only one woman here. One woman, Deborah, second left from the top. Yes. Deborah, which is Virgo in the 11 other signs. I found it interesting that when I was researching this months ago, at the bottom left, you got Elon as in Elon Musk. And I said, oh, this could potentially be a story that's replaying itself. And what I found interesting, a little relief from that storyline is there was no drama and beef far as a war when Elon was judge. I think Elon may have ruled for 10 years and the nation actually experienced some prosperity and whatnot. They didn't get destroyed. So hopefully this is a story that can get looped and played out over again since it was written. Yes. All right. So you got 12 judges. And then we know the infamous, when you get to Jesus, you have 12 disciples. So the Bible was big, and it actually goes further than that. Thinking about that. Then you also have Ishmael, and I don't think we hear a lot about this. So let's read on the left in Genesis. For Ishmael, I have heard you, right? And that's interesting because Ishmael's name means to hear God. I have heard you, and I will surely bless him. I will make him fruitful and multiply him greatly. He will become the father of 12 rulers, and I will make him into a great nation. 12 rulers. And then they say Ishmael descendants is what we call modern day Saudi Arabia, where the Muslims are at. Okay. So that's interesting. 12 rulers. Do we not have 12 inches on a ruler? Yeah, we do. We do have 12 inches on a ruler. I like to point out on the wall clock, the number 12 is the biggest number on the wall clock. It's the highest number at the top. And then everything, descends and ascends and comes back to it again. Yes. Okay. So the Bible was loaded with what? 4 references. Yes. The Bible has the 12 tribes of Israel, the 12 judges, yes, the 12 disciples, and then also the 12 princes that's going to come from Ishmael. And now this baffles me because as a Christian, and the Jews already know, the Jews know that the Muslim, because they believe in the Old Testament literally, they know that the Muslim is a promised nation. It baffles me in the Christian mind how you possibly think that the Muslims is like Islam is like this made up thing and it's not real and it's not accepted by the one God who allows millions of Muslims to be. But yet you believe in the Bible. But I guess that's that thing where it's like, well, no, we believe in the New Testament. But then Jesus said he didn't come to change the old law. Right. So it baffles me of the cognitive dissonance that you get and whatnot, where there is this nation that's coming from Ishmael. Yes. All right. Anyway, so you got 12 all in the Bible. And then when you come into Islam, ladies and gentlemen, you have something. There's a difference. The 2 major sects of Islam is Sunni and Shia. Do you know that in the Shia, they have something called 12ers? The 12ers are followers of 12er Shiaism, the largest branch of Shia Islam. They believe in a lineage of 12 divinely appointed imams, beginning with Ali ibn Abi Talib and ending with Muhammad al-Mahdi. The 12ers believe the 12th imam went into occultation, concealment, and will reappear in the future as the Mahdi to bring justice to the world. They also say that when Jesus comes back, Imam Mahdi is going to come out of hiding. Now, they say that the Imam, some believe that Imam Mahdi has been in hiding now for what is it? Maybe, I don't know, 1200 something years. Come on, man. If you can live 1200 something years and you got this kind of power bestowed by Allah, what you hiding for? Listen, man, I'm sorry. Anything is possible. Sorry. That's where I stand today. And I'll take a page from Neil Tyson deGrasse, the big head scientist, as I call him. I live to be corrected because in correction is growth. Okay? But you think a man from 1200 years ago has been hiding somewhere in World War I, World War II, in Palestine ain't drew this person out. What do you think it really is going to come to in order for this person to come out? So you really thinking like World War III, total destruction, and all of a sudden this magical figure is going to appear. If we knew what Jesus and the Mahdi represent, well, I'll just tell you what they represent. They represent a state of consciousness in whom the Quran says, and we raise whom we want. Period. The Bible is the word of God. Ain't nobody coming back. Okay? I'm telling you now, you got it misconstrued. Ain't nobody coming back. Ain't what that is. All right. And forgive me if I'm in error. May I be forgiven. Okay. If I'm in error. Nah. We got to understand something. All right. So even over here in this school, you have this concept of 12 leaders. And here go the name of the Imams right here. Yes, going from left to right. Number 6, Imam Jafar Sadiq. When his he has 2 sons at his death, Musa and Ishmael. The 12ers followed Musa, and then other people followed Ishmael, and this became the Ismaili sect. So then a division happened within Shiaism under Imam Jafar Sadiq, who was a beautiful scholar in dealing with the esoteric science of Islam. All right. So anyway, this 12 is over here in Islam, hidden, waiting for activation. So now let's go to the Sunni hadith about 12. This is what the Sunnis believe. I just showed you the Shia. They say that in the hadith, I heard the messenger of Allah, the Rasulullah, say, Islam will continue to be triumphant until there have been 12 caliphs. Then the prophet said something which I could not understand. I asked my father, what did he say? He said, he has said that all of them, the 12 caliphs, will be from the Quraysh. This is in Sahih Muslim. Sahih Muslim is considered the second most authentic hadith if you're a hadither. So even in Sunni Islam, in the hadith, they're saying that they heard the prophet say Islam is going to continue to be triumphant until the 12. Now, I got a question. What happens when you reach the 12? Do it stop being triumphant at that particular point? Something to think about. I ain't going to dig into that right now. But what's interesting is in Sunni Islam, in the hadith, there's a reference to 12 leaders. Okay, let's move on. Let's come to the West. Bring it to the west side of America. All right. Nation of Islam. In NOI theology, founder Wallace Fard Muhammad and his successor, Elijah Muhammad, taught a unique cosmogony, or what is that? I'm going to say cosmological science, involving a council of 24 God scientists. Here it is, 12 major and 12 minor scientists who are part of the original Asiatic black man race and govern the world in cycles. This teaching is distinct from the recognized historical Muslim scientists who contributed to the Islamic Golden Age. So even in the Nation of Islam, we were given, there are 12 major scientists and 12 minor, 24 in total, and the 24th one was the judge of them all. This is given in the Nation of Islam. Yes. So 12 major, 12 minor. Then you have the Federal Reserve Bank. Let's come out of spiritual scriptures and now let's deal with America. The Federal Reserve Bank says, hey, guys, let's create 12 districts of the United States from Boston to San Francisco and everything in between. So when you look on the back of a dollar bill, or maybe it's the front, it has a letter, and that letter corresponds to the district that printed the money. So, and you look on the back of your Social Security card, it start with a letter too. Yeah. Financial contracts we have. So even the bank system said, let's mirror this sacred number. Because ladies and gentlemen, and I'm not calling the bank good, I'm not calling the bank bad. The point is, when you do set up man-made law, you simply mirror the invisible or visible celestial law. This is why your ancestors built pyramids to stars. You start integrating and just copying and flowing with law, with nature. You're supposed to do that. Okay? All right. So Jesus was crucified where? At Golgotha, meaning the place of the skull. What's inside of your skull, ladies and gentlemen? Because here's your 12 disciples, here's your 12 imams, and here go the 12 zodiac signs that are now inside of man and woman. You have something called 12 cranial nerves, and they roll in pairs. 12 times 2 is 24. Oh, you are the 24th scientist. It's you. Very amazing. Because this really tells us that, hey, whoa, whoa. Not only is it in Golgotha, which said the place of the skull, we go into this skull and we see these 12, and you just so happen to have 12 disciples. Yes. Okay. These nerves and pairs, which pairs again is 2. So 12 times 2 is 24. Now you got 24 hours in a day. So this beautiful celestial canopy that we have in the timing of it absolutely has now unfolded itself or replicated itself, because you do have something called RNA. Yes, we know that DNA and RNA, we have the ability to replicate genes. But the human being is mostly composed of stardust, hydrogen, and things of that nature. So now we've been replicated. Yes, we've replicated the cosmos inside of man and inside of woman. This is why I said earlier, when the Quran asks you and say, hey, do you not see the sign in yourself? Do you not know? One of the easiest things to recognize this truth is to sincerely watch a woman's menstrual cycle in correlation with the moon. The first drop of blood, you need to go note the position of the moon. Then on the next cycle, it happened, note the position of the moon again and see if there is a correspondence there. If you see that it's a correspondence there, could have came a little early this month, but tomorrow it would have actually been where it was last month, same vicinity, and now we own something. We own something. You start to see this truth within yourself. Yes. Excuse me. I don't need to have a period, although I think males have periods, but I don't need to have a period to see this truth when I can watch you and see this truth and watch other things and see this truth. And I'm going to show you some case study on how people got their brains blown out with this truth. So stay with me. All right. So you are here. This is the ultimate truth. You are it. Okay. The 12 scientists, the 12th major or the 24th one is you. The 13th is the illumination. That's you. Because 13 in Hebrew represents what? Unity. Encode, unity. And love, ahava, love. So the 13th sign is you. That's fully activated, and the halo comes around your head in this what we call Christ consciousness, where Christ says, hey, you're going to go off and do better things than I am. Why you call me good? None is good but God. Yes? Okay. All of this is talking about biology. Cosmic biology, because it's one and the same. Go Google is man made up of stardust. See what your answer is going to be. Yes, you will see that. Okay. All right. So now let me give you some case study. This is the chart you need to know. If you need to know anything about the cosmos, you need to know this, the rule of this, and then know your own chart, like the back of your hand. Yes, you should know your chart like the back of your hand. It's only 10 things to remember to a degree. If you just deal with the planet, it's only 10 things to remember. Meaning, hey, I got this in Leo, I got this in Scorpio, I got this in Aquarius, I got this in Pisces, I got this in Aries, I got this over here in Taurus, right? So you should know that. Okay? Just knowing it. Start learning. Why do you need to know this square chart? Pay attention to it closely. because these are the points. Everybody that's connected to their respective square agitates you. Yeah. Yeah. This is the agitation right here. And I'm going to show you now how it creeps in and people lose their lives. So before I do that, let me say this. I'm going to show you 3 positions. Okay, 3 positions. So let me try my best to explain this to you. For example, let's look at the top at Capricorn in red. Capricorn is squared by Aries on the left of the screen and by Libra on the right of the screen. But both of those positions, Libra and Aries to Capricorn, is a square. So I don't have to show you 2 squares. I'm going to show you, because it's going to be the same energy, I'm going to show you 1 square. I'm going to show you a conjunction, which is, if we're looking at Capricorn at the top, I'll show you when happens when the planet Mars comes into Capricorn, for example. Okay? So that's called a conjunction. It's conjoined. Then I'm going to show you the opposition when it's in Cancer. So that's 3 points. Are you with me? 3 points I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you the conjunction when it's in the same sign. That's number 1. Number 2, when it's halfway, that's called a square. I'm just going to pick 1 square. And number 3, when it's directly across from it, that's called opposition. Why show you another square when I showed you it already works on the square? So I'm not going to show you 4 points. I'm going to show you 3. You got me? All right. It's about to get interesting. Case study number 1. Rest in peace, Takeoff. From the Migos. Yes. When Takeoff was born, 6/18/1994, please note that the sun's position appears to be at the foot of Gemini, right on top of the hand of Osiris, aka Orion, or at the tip of the bull's horn, 6/18/1994. We're going to deal with a conjunction. Let's go to the sun. What is the sun? The sun symbolizes life, source, and spirit, masculinity. So the sun symbolizes our life force energy. Without the sun, we die, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? All right. What happens on this day? I got the calendar lit up. No, I ain't got the calendar lit up. But the day of his death day, the planet Mars is in the same position where the sun was. This is what? November 1st, 2022. Okay? Mars is exactly in the same position where the spirit in life source energy was at when he was born. What is Mars? Well, when we look at Mars, we see war, we see violence. That's all you need to know. We can keep poking around in there. You're going to see bloodshed. Let's go second column, second from the bottom, bloodshed. Yes? Keep looking around. We go to the third column at the bottom where it says masculinity. Go up a few. Armed services means pistols, gunshots, because this planet is associated with war. Yes? So you see that. Now let's go to Biggie Smalls. Yes? Biggie Smalls, don't pay attention to he wasn't born in Jessup, Georgia. I don't feel like putting in Brooklyn, New York. That's irrelevant. The location is irrelevant. You think the city is not relevant when I'm looking at the position of the planet in the sky. So pay that no mind. Okay? Mars is still going to be in red in Libra that day. Okay? And when he was born, Mars is in Cancer. Yes? So you see Mars at the top on March 9th, 1997, when Biggie Smalls gets shot. Mars is at the top in Libra, but when he was born, Mars was at 6 degrees Cancer. Yes. Did you not see on this chart? Let's find Cancer, bottom red. Let's see Libra to the right side in red. Cancer to Libra is a square. Very interesting, because what we're saying now is this position on the right hand side, Cancer, the moon, or I'm sorry, Mars is not there that day on his death, because Mars in the sky is at the top in green. That means Biggie Smalls is responding to a point in space. This space has memory. Let's go back to Takeoff real fast. Mars is right here when he was murdered. Yes. Yes. But when he was born, we saw the sun was right here. Is the sun there right now? No, it's not. So what is Takeoff responding to? He's responding to a point in space, because as far as I know, I'm the astrologer that's saying, hey, ladies and gentlemen, please understand that space is intelligent and it has a working memory. Do you hear me? It has a memory. This is proven that it's having a memory. But here's the thing. You celebrate stuff in space all the time called anniversaries. It's 9/11. Oh, now that it was 9/11, you see, not too far, things happen. Dick Cheney died, and the people who died on the airplane was 9/11, and it was the same amount. Like, you start seeing these weird coincidences pop up because space is intelligent. You can't keep celebrating this and this and this pocket and this pocket and this pocket and think like, oh, just because it's your birthday or it's your anniversary, that's just all it means? No, the space knows what this is. It's holding the memory. God, I hope you get this. I hope you get it. Let's come back. All right. So Mars square Mars. Problem, that's the square. Yes. Cancer to Libra, square. Move on. Give you the opposition. Rest in peace, P&B Rock. Yes, young kid from Philadelphia was out there in California and LA on the east side at Roscoe Chicken and Waffles, and they say, oh, no, that's not the chicken and waffles that you want to be at, sir. Not that one. Okay. Okay. Well, again, let's blow this up for me. At the bottom, P&B Rock is born with Mars in Sagittarius. But on the day of his death, September the 12th, Mars was in Gemini. That's called opposition. So let's take it back. Where is Sagittarius? Sagittarius is at the top yellow. Where is Gemini? Bottom yellow. That is called Mars opposite Mars. I just took you through the 3 points that I told you. See, I study this for real, for real. Unfortunately, I have to study death to try to quantify it as a science. Right? I'm up for it. Makes great case study and tell you when your ass need to lay low. Okay. All right. I showed you the other side of the science dealing with Jay-Z and Beyonce and how it can manifest into big money, Jupiter-Venus connections, right? Showed you that like a week or so ago. Yes. Okay. All right. All right. So what does the Quran says or say? Do you not see that Allah has made subject to you whatever is in the heavens and whatever is in the earth, and amply bestowed upon you his favors, both apparent, or they say seen and unseen? But of the people is he who disputes about Allah without knowledge or guidance or an enlightening book. See, once again, the Quran's coming back and is asking these questions of disappointment about yourself. Do you not see that Allah has made subject to you whatever is in the heavens? Whoa. You made the sun subject to me. You made the moon subject to me. You made the stars subject to me. Nobody's telling us this, though, because we keep looking at it from the perspective of, well, the sun gives us life and the moon gives us gravity and the seasons give us harvest and food. That will make us subject to it. The Quran says it is subject to us. Woo. But see, last week's work, I laid it on the line. I'm not about to get back into that bag and show you that on how thoughts, which is the real energy in Einstein's equation, thoughts, which is energy, is equal to MC square. Okay. Thoughts are impacting space-time without a shadow of a doubt. That's what we do over here. We do these experiments and see what the Quran says is true, so we may know for certain. This ain't just play when we go do this. So we may know for certain what this is. You understand what I'm saying? So here again, the Quran is saying, hey, I made this where these things are subjective to you. All right? Made it subjective to you. Now, see, that takes me to the Khalifa, because in the Quran it says, hey, I created man as the Khalifa, and the angels are to bow down to you. And they all did, besides this one named Iblis. They call Satan. Yes. As I think about man, we're the only one who have the consciousness to purposely infringe upon another species, where we can actually promote, we can preserve it. It's called endangered species. And then we can actually bring it off of the endangered list, and which means we can start to set up a habitat which can enhance the species. So we're the only ones who can consciously enhance other species. No other species on the planet comes to the human being with the intention on enhancing something for us without us training that animal what to do. It don't come already with the consciousness to do it. It has to learn how to do it, and you reward it through food. Right? So this is really amazing. So if you really understand what the Quran is saying when it says, hey, I made everything in the heaven subject to you, and I left you as Khalifa, and all of the angels bow down to you. What are you really here to do, and what kind of power do you really have? What kind of power do you really, really, really have? The power is so immense that you can make new stars be born at a thought. That's been proven. We'll move on. So the real Khalifa in Islam, what I found interesting, pay attention in the red. Khalifa has a numerical value of 710. And so does the word for retreating planets, kanas. And I said, that's interesting. Both of these have a numerical value of 710. So is the Khalifa supposed to be someone who understands the planets? Well, I got some stuff on this grid, but I ain't going to get into it right now. All right. So a Khalifa is someone who is supposed to understand the retreating planets. When we go look up the root word for Iman, who is the religious leader of the masjid, Iman is mentioned how many times? 12. Circled it for you. The Imam is mentioned 12 times. The same 12 signs of the Zodiac that we just talked about? Yes. You know how beautiful the Quran is? Look at this. And this is why it's important to study. Read from the top to the bottom. And what can make you know what is Ilion? A book written. Let's go look at the word written. They tell you it means inscription, written. Look at the bottom right when we go and put it in the dictionary ourselves, because we know how to read Arabic. So now we can go put these things in the dictionary. It says numero, number. It doesn't say written. It can in another definition, but it also means number. So doesn't that sound different? If it reads, and what can make you know what is Ilion? A book numbered, not a book written, a book numbered. Oh, a book numbered, but this is the same Quran that says, and we raise you up in degrees. Degrees are usually numerical, right? Especially when you're dealing with temperature. Yes, but even if we're dealing with grades, philosophical degrees, we still got numbers. Hey, you're a freshman, or this your junior year in college, whatever it may be, there is still a numerical identifying thing. Yes, but it hits different when you say this is a book, a numerical book, because now this means we need to understand the relationship of numbers in the book. Yes. So when I say, hey, Khalifa is the same number as retreating planets. When I say Eman is mentioned 12 times, what a coincidence is in chapter, one of them verses in verse 12, they given you, okay, hey, these are our commands that flow amongst the seven heavens and the earth. Yes. And so it's like, oh, okay. So there's a few instances with verse 4 in different chapters parallel one another in speech. In verse 12, parallel one another in speech. It's a study that really needs to be done. You want to get into the inner essence of Quran, you really need to embark upon, I'm giving you something to think about. Cross-reference all verse 4s and see if there's a parallel story being told, because there's a whole nother book within the book, which the Quran talks about that too. It's in the book, well preserved. What do you mean? It's a whole nother book that's well preserved? So it ain't this book. It's another book. Okay. All right. All right. So here's the crux, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the work. I'm not into writing books. I'm into writing workbooks. That's what I do. I noticed that today. I'm like, hold on, I don't write books. I write workbooks. Need something to do. So you got the Cosmic Light Body Workbook, the Lost Initiation of the 13th Sign, the Self-Activation Workbook wrote years ago. Like that was like 20, man, that was years ago. Years ago. I think that was maybe 2012, maybe. All right. But I'll show you what this looks like. All right. Put your point. What do we have? When you go to the Farmer's Almanac at the checkout line at the grocery store, open up the Farmer's Almanac. It used to be in the front, but go in the back, you'll find it. This is known as Zodiac Man. And they're saying, hey, Aries is at the head, Taurus is at the throat, Cancer is at the breast, Leo is at the heart, Gemini is at the arms. Virgo is in the intestines. You see, they open the stomach up. So now it's letting you know it's about bodily systems and bodily regions, parts. This is an old science, man. Old. It's in the Farmer's Almanac. It's also inside of Benjamin Banneker's almanac when he was tracing the planet's location. He got this that's in there. There's a relationship. We got our science got removed for spiritual political purposes. But make no mistake about it, this is science. That's what we just went through. Go through the wave. That's what it looks like. Here's the work. Here's the work. Let me blow this up. Here's the work. Aries season. 321, 420. Simply check off or make your notes. My muscles and blood are purified in your light because you're going to have something to do. I'm saying for 360 degrees of a circle. Get in tune with the light. Yeah, so you go from Aries to Taurus. Now we go from the head in the blood system down to Taurus, the thyroid in the endocrine system. Yes, and you can substitute my thyroid for, it could be maybe your pancreas or something, whatever it may be, right? Yes. Gemini is the lungs and respiratory system. Facts. Cancer is the stomach and breast. So that's the lymphatic system. Leo is your heart and spine, cardiovascular system. Virgo is your intestines, known as the digestive system. A lot of problems, a lot of disease gets started because of that. Libra is the kidneys, so that's the urinary system. rules relationships. I gave y'all a real life example of my dad. The pain he experienced or what he perceived, the pain he perceived, shut a kidney down, had to get a kidney transplant based off of the stress he perceived. And I'm going to say perceive because what stress you out don't stress me out. So it's perception. Scorpio, sexual reproductive organs. Yes. Sag, no system but co-ruler of the digestive because it rules the liver. The liver is the only thing in the body that you can cut it and it regenerates itself. The immortal liver grows back. And sciatica nerve is here. Capricorn, double system, skin and bones. Yes. Aquarius, bodily systems, nervous. This is the electrical impulse. This is the tree of life. This is the this is, you want to know God imprints is you say it all the time. You get on my what? Nerves. Okay. Pisces co-rules lymphatic system, rules the feet. Okay. So that's my first shake. My first shake is blessed in light. And I got Mother Shantae. That's my first teacher in a sense. Where I thought, oh snap, whoa, she did Solar Power 111, and that's all I'm giving you is Solar Power 111. And back then I would give you the Indian mantra, and then the bottom is myself. Can't see me because of the light is so bright. Somebody's like, no, I tried to take a picture of you and this bright light came. I'm on the left hand side. And here is the truth that comes back from the motherland for a lot of us. This is Akhenaten and his family showing the importance of the sun and its life generating qualities. The Atendis, they got rid of that man. They murdered that man because Akhenaten said, listen, man, we ain't about to deal with all this. We about to deal with the intelligence that permeates through the sun. And it's going to be one. Kuhu Allahu Ahad. Say he Allah is one. We ain't about to deal with all these different dimensions of God. And they say, well, you tripping. You got us messed up. The priesthood of Amin Ra, you got us messed up. So they murdered him. But the Bible says this, and it spells sun just like this. I'm not making it up. Look it up. In Malachi, the sun, S-U-N, of righteousness will rise with healing in its wings. I don't know if we really understand what's going on with Shantae. But it gets no more enlightening and enlightenment than this, in my opinion. When the light, as the Quran specifies, a light upon light, or there be those who have their light on their right will be with them. And the people will be asking, I just want some of your light. It's in the Quran. I'm giving you proof of concept, as they call it in business. Yes. Proof of concept. Yes. That this is what it is. Yes. So I'm telling you, let me come back where I'm at. Let me come to this one. Let me remove this one. So I'm telling you, within this, there's some work to do. Now, in the self-activation workbook is you learning your own birth chart. This is the one that say, hey, man, listen, hey, this is what all the planets mean. This is what all the signs mean. This is what this stuff means. Y'all want to see it? I'll load it up real quick. Let me see if I can find it. I'll load it up. Yeah, y'all need to know this stuff, man. Let's see. Did I download it? Where is that? I gotta find. I don't know what folder I got it in. That's my problem. That be's my problem, y'all. I don't know if I got it. No, it ain't in documents. It's on the desktop somewhere. You know what? Hold on. What they say, it's in documents. All right, they say it's in documents. There we go. And all of this is free in the Patreon. Guess it ain't free if you pay $20 a month, but it's only $20. And you really need to be in our Sunday joints. But I'm about to stop even letting y'all know about that because we're getting so far in what we're doing. The newness is going to throw things off. All right. Your rising sign. You need to know what your rising sign is. Yes? Know what your rising sign is. All right. And we start talking about the rising sign because the rising sign is what's on the eastern point, like sunrise. Even though the sun is not there when you were born, because you could have been born in the afternoon or the evening or at night, we still need to know that sign that's on that eastern point at the time of your birth. That's called your rising sign, also known as the ascendant. So in this chart, you see if this is somebody's birthday, they're born at 9:35 in the morning. AC is 22 degrees Capricorn, but they're born December the 10th. Their sun is 18 degrees Sag in the 11th house because the sun is 9:30. The sun had already been up for about 2 hours. The sun has been up already. So the sun came up at that AC point, but then it started to keep rotating. It got to keep moving. The heavens is moving. Everything is moving. So you start off with understanding the AC. Okay. So then you come over here and shout out to Nini. She wrote this part, the planets. And you start to understand, hey, the sun, what his energy is all about. The moon, what her energy is all about. Mercury, so forth, so forth. There go my baby right there. I love this. I'm gonna have to do something on this. This planet is so magical. So you go through all of the planets. Yes. Then you can go through Chiron and the nodes as well. North node, south node. Then you get a cheat sheet. Here go planetary keywords right here. The master cheat sheet. Now it's time to review. What is the energy of the moon? Write it down. What is the energy of Saturn? What is the energy of Neptune? Chiron, energy of the sun, Mercury, Uranus, Mars, Venus, Jupiter, Pluto, North Node. Talk to me. What is the energy of the South Node? Boom. Zodiac signs. Here go the symbols. Let's run through them. Here's the cheat sheet. Yes? Run through them. The fire signs, the earth signs, the air signs, the water signs, they can get grouped into the 4 elements. These elements represent the aspect of psychology. Fire people are creative and can't sit still. Yes? Kind of remind me of DMX. They edgy. Can't sit down. You know what I'm saying? And he's so edgy, you need to bark, you know? So it's different. And so these elements represent aspect of the psychology. Yes. So now we're about to describe these signs. 12 houses. The 12 houses are just like the 12 signs. Even though a different sign will be on that house. Technically, ladies and gentlemen, a house is just an area of space outside. I showed you the east is the AC is the east, so the DC is the west. Those signs keep rotating throughout the day. 12 times 2 is 24 hours in a day. So a sign will stay on the house on average for 2 hours, but as it rotates, and then the next sign will come and follow it. But the house doesn't change. So imagine looking outside in the east. When the sun come up, the sun came up, and the sun keep moving. Then you look east, and let's just say all of a sudden you see a planet come up in the east. Did you change direction from the east? No, that's a house. A house is just simply an area of space. That's all it is. So that's static. That's stuck. Them signs are forever rotating, and them planets move through the signs as we, progress throughout the day. Yes. So now here go your cheat sheet for the houses. So I like to get to my favorite, describe the energy of the houses, your planets in houses. Let's talk about you. What degree and sign is your moon? What degree and sign is your sun? Notice So example, Saturn and Leo. I am successful. That's a key word for Saturn. When I am being creative, Leo, with my children. Another key word for Leo. Mercury and Aquarius. I communicate, that's Mercury, best with friends, Aquarius, and groups, Aquarius, of people when we take short trips. Short trips is Mercury. So I can just put that in. So you start building upon what you learned in the last section based off your chart. Okay, so you got to do the same for all of this right there. And then it quizzes you. What zodiac sign did your MC fall on? What zodiac signs did your IC fall on? Things of that nature. That's self-activation. That's self-activation. Free in the Patreon. Listen, man, if you come into Patreon and maybe you don't see it, but if you know of it, you got some work to do. So in my opinion, I'm of the opinion, be serious and complete the task at hand by knowing yourself when it comes to that particular science. Because I would love to poll it and be like, hey, wait a minute, you left. Do you know it? Do you know? Nah, man, I was in the Patreon, man, and nah, I ain't even do it, man. Cause I'm gonna tell you, man, hey, okay, that's on you. That ain't on me. I'm here to just try to give you the best that I can possibly give you. Here it is. You want to learn it? There it is. It says, man, know thyself. Those was the ancient inscriptions. Know thyself. Right? And it say lean on another person. I set it up in a way where you can do it yourself. Right? And ain't nothing wrong with learning from somebody. We should learn from somebody. Right? But there's really no excuse at this particular point. Now, when we get to this big baby and we start coming with this, not this one. We start coming with, oh boy, oh yeah, open that up. Inspection. That's going back military style. Print that thing out. Let me see. Inspection. Hey, break out your workbook. Let me go to this page. Go now. Come on. I know where we at. Where we at right now? We in Scorpio season. Yes, we in Scorpio season. Break this out. Let me see your Scorpio lights. Do you got check marks on it? You been doing that work? Because it's going to tell you everything you need to know about yourself, how disciplined you are. Listen to me. The hardest thing to do in any of this stuff is to practice over and over and over again. So we keep on watching all these videos and hearing information and stuff and being intrigued by that, but not putting in no work. At some point, you're going to have to stop and put in work. I'm telling you this. I'm telling you this. You're going to have to put in work. That's why I like reading stuff that makes me put in work. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, it usually take about 4 months to accomplish this. Oh, I got to put this book down. I shouldn't even read no more past this because he said the first thing to do is get in contact with this particular field of light. You see what I'm saying? So then it's like, oh, shit, I got some work to do. You know what I'm saying? And so to become enlightened, you have to put in work. All right. All right. Now, any questions before we wrap up? Any questions? Any questions? You can put it. But yeah, you can learn this astro science at your own pace. All right. You can study with the Golden Heart Sufis. Sundays, beautiful class on Sunday. Tears be flowing on Sunday. Tuesdays is Arabic 101. I can't wait to this Tuesday. I'm throwing a monkey wrench in the program like a mug. So I got something lined up for Tuesday. Also, we got a class on Saturday tomorrow, jumping into cash flow. We do real estate as well. I don't post a lot about it, but people who know about it ask about it. But Venus just shifted over into Scorpio. So there's an energy that's talking about investments right now. To be in rhythm with that is key. I can't make this up. You can go look this up. Venus just went into Scorpio. It just dawned on me. Last Friday, I signed the paperwork with my lender for the construction funds to go ahead and build on lot number 2. Been having a lot for a year, you know what I'm saying? But, building another house. But literally just signed the paperwork last week where we got the construction budget already approved. House actually appraised higher than our last appraisal last time. And so that's good. That's super good. And literally we about to start building house number 2 right now. That happened when Venus goes into Scorpio, shifting into joint investments. Now, if you follow me in the Patreon, you can go into Patreon and you see in my daily gratitude, what am I saying? Venus key. I'm not saying nothing else. Venus key. Because it's a principle at work here that deals with the financial aspect and deal with the love aspect. A lot of times I'm on the love energy with it and whatnot. But you got to know how to work these laws and be in alignment with it. Sometimes it's just going to flow that way. So the delays and stuff like that, we got to learn how to be patient and learn how to be like, okay, all right, this is really divine providence. Yo, that train came because it was a horrible accident on the other side of those tracks that was up the road. It ain't for you to be there, man. So sometimes you got to be patient. Sometimes you got to be. All right. So a lot going on. A lot going on in the Patreon. Sharita, big salute to her. She takes the time out to give free business coaching. Salute to B. He'd come in and be like, hey, y'all want to learn this crypto stuff and learn this AI web file stuff? Here goes some webinar stuff. Golden Heart, check out the prayer module now. He said he updated it. Had to work out something. So he told me he updated, and I'll send y'all an email and whatnot. So check that out. But salute to B, salute to all the moderators, salute to Big Money CC for dropping some game and some numbers on there and people winning lottery and stuff. Yeah. We play lottery and whatnot. Yes, we do. I don't, because I really am a lottery person, but I will play when instructed to play. And I've proven that. And usually it's just to show y'all a sign of divinity. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's in the Patreon. So yeah, any questions? What is the purpose of the extra 5 days in a year if we're supposed to have 360 to be in alignment? Is it meant to knock us off our game? No, that's a very good question. So no, it's not. There are 365 days in a year. So this what happens, right? Remember the 360 circle, it's 360, but the shape of it isn't a perfect circle. It's more like an egg. All right. An oblong circle. And so what happens is, if today, let's hypothetically say the sun is about 9 degrees Scorpio, right? That's today. And let's just say at 7:30 in the evening, the sun is going to move to 10 degrees Scorpio. You see what I'm saying? But it's still 11/7 all day. You see what I'm saying? And so what happens is, these days are really mirroring degrees, but sometimes what happens is sometimes there's technically short signs and long signs. Like Virgo and Leo area space is a little bit more longer than Aries and Gemini. So if you start studying the planets rotation, they zip through Aries and Gemini quickly. I mean quickly. Right? So we live in this oblong circle where there's kind of acceleration and a slowing down and whatnot. But these 365 days fit inside of the circle, which means what? There are going to be days that share degrees. It's not one day for a degree per se. There's going to be days that share degrees. Okay. So it's not a throw off. All right. So that's a good question. All right. Cash Flow K did the activation workbook. How about one's dark side of Lilith sign? Man, that's funny, man. We was just talking about Lilith the other day. You know what I'm saying? I haven't got into it. I stayed away from asteroids, even though I put Chiron in that book, because see, my thing was I want to come close as possible to the center of truth. And what we're born with, to a degree, the zodiac is almost an imprisonment. I hate to say that, but it's kind of the truth. I show you those case studies, and I got a lot of case studies, man. Those case studies, dudes getting killed. It's kind of like an imprisonment because of the gravitational pull that's taking place on the human being and on the earth. How do we get past that? And those are, so salute to my Buddhists and like my astro projectors and things of that nature. To tapping into your light body, and that's why I want to work with light and purify the energy first, this circle of self and these systems of self, and then we can go upstairs. You see what I'm saying? And start to go beyond the gravitational pull of these things, which takes us to, you know, the higher levels of the inner teachings and whatnot, which is known in the Quran as the mirage or the ascension, where the prophet said, yeah, he went to the seven heavens and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Or what we kind of experience when we go to sleep in dream world. But we got to get outside of the pull, but a knowledge of what's going on and what to purify and what to know, you know, it's possibly coming and things of that nature. I love it for compatibility purposes. It's the science, but there's really a higher science, and this is not the highest science. The astro science is the 11th grade. I keep saying it because it's ruled by Aquarius. Pisces is the 12th grade. That's transcendental consciousness. That's pure spirit. That's not even form. It's not even form. Neptune is gas. Gas could be odorless and formless. You don't see it. You don't even smell carbon monoxide. That's Neptunian. That's spirit, the vapor. You see what I'm saying? The invisible intelligence. You see what I'm saying? So that's the level, or known as escapism. You know what I mean? The negative side, drugs and alcohol, a form of escapism. The high side of escapism is the spiritual retreat, in which we activate the light body, in which we activate what's known as the Merkaba, the vessel where we can travel beyond this particular pool, get the soul to keep coming back, or what the Hindus and the Kriya Yogas call nirvikla samadhi, when they purposely know how to leave the body and the heart shut off and the vitals shut off, which is some other stuff. Leave, come back, leave, come back. Yes. So now you're prepping yourself for the journey and activating higher centers inside of self and shedding a lot of fear, restrictive based type of Saturn, type of negative Saturn type of energies that's there. You know what I'm saying? This is why it's important. This is why my Sunday class is the bomb. It really is. I keep saying that because when you're in the process of identifying certain things and shedding certain things, it makes you lighter. Listen, man, there is a mystic Sufi teaching that I got that I can show you, but I'm just gonna tell you the truth. All right, my saying is this: memories are our prison. See, once the traumatic event is over, what's going on now? We are tortured by memories. And let's gonna have this conversation. I thought I was gonna have it maybe today. I was gonna ride in the vein of the great Al Ghazali, which is a spiritual master in his own right. Dear young man, but dear young man and woman, I guess I can have a little bit of this conversation with y'all now. But dear young man and woman, and dear man and woman who don't know, nobody wants to have traumatic memories, traumatic experiences, to have traumatic memories that keep playing over and over again, that haunt us, taunt us, and torture us. That's what we call post-traumatic, after the fact, right? After the trauma, we still traumatized. And what I would love, and you don't want to be a part of creating that for someone else, because now when they get triggered about something, right? You cheat on me for this person. And every time I hear that name, that makes me think of every time you cheated on me. That's how it works. So now that name is a trigger. Now the person name is after a month. So I may hear the name of this month for quite a few times. So now I'm gonna be triggered quite a few times. Or this person reminds me of this person that you said that you cheated on me with, or whatever the case, you know how it go. You don't want to be a part of that, because now the evil eye gets turned on you, unbeknownst to you. The trauma is done. Y'all ain't even in a relationship no more and stuff. But now, this person don't like this experience that y'all had. And every time they have this separate experience, unbeknownst to you, years and miles apart, years later, miles apart, every time they keep hearing this particular name, they have an instance of you in a negative emotional response to you, which just associated, and they just sent a signal that's associated with you, a negativity out to you. So this is why it's important to pray, because now you got to build your force field up, and you got to do this whole thing of forgiveness and a whole lot of stuff. You understand what I'm saying? On a daily basis, you know what I'm saying? To purify your own space, because you may be a part of somebody else's traumatic experiences. And this is important to understand, especially for the virgins, the youth. We think it's cool to go have sex, but son, let me tell you something. I'm gonna show my son a case study where science says the cells in the vagina, in the uterus, has memory that can last decades. And so does the man also have cells inside of the sex organ that takes on the proteins and antigens of the woman. And so this is all chemical communications and memory, so we can best know how to deal with these fluids with one another. This is real. And you can have these cellular scars and memories for years upon years. Yes. So y'all probably, if you ever seen that Tiffany Haddish said, listen, man, you got too many sexual partners, chicks go crazy because she got too many conflicting DNAs inside of her from these men. That's real, but it just ain't a one-sided story. And I don't know, as men, why we possibly think it wouldn't be that we don't have memory, because if, let's hypothetically say you caught something from a woman, that woman caught it from a man. She got it from A, you got it from, she's B, and you C, you got it from B. So if you got it from B and she got it from A, then that means what you ultimately got is from A. So A squared plus B squared equals C squared sexually. So you're walking around with a memory of an experience from A and B, but you was only with B and not A. Yes? So we hold energy too. So now you done been with this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. She done been with this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. And for some reason, we can't get it right in relationships. For some reason. Maybe on a subconscious cellular level, there's some conflicts going on that purposely make you rebel against being soft towards your person, surrendering to your person, or looking for things to nitpick with on your person. Maybe it's somebody else's energy that you've been with that's conflicting with this. Maybe. Just a theory at this particular point. Yes? But the most important thing is, who the hell said I want to carry you for the rest of my life? I didn't know that. Nah, you mean to tell me, old girl that didn't have the nicest smelling stuff and I did it anyway? You mean to tell me I carry that for the rest of my life? Astaghfirullah. What? Nah, man, you better give me some cellular regeneration. Y'all better tell me the herbs that kill cells and immediately produce new cells. Put me on, right? Because this is deep. I carry that potentially for years upon years. No, sir. No, thank you. I don't want to. I don't want it. So now we gotta come into this kind of understanding and then move into a new understanding as well. Okay, what we doing going forward at this particular point? Very intentional stuff, man. Very intentional stuff. But these images, to back up a little bit, these images of the trauma is actually getting stuck somewhere in the body and it's hiding somewhere, and it takes on a geometric form. This is in the Sufi teaching. It takes on a geometric form, and you got to learn how to locate it. This is why you got to pay very close attention to people, you know, when they talking and they're going through an emotional thing. Where do they touch that on their body or the subconscious? You know what I'm saying? Like just really paying attention. And then when you get into the science of touching, learn how to feel where things are at. You know what I mean? What's going on right here? And then it gets into the intentional aspect, yes, of using, you know, love and light. Okay. All right. All right. So that's my rant for the day. What up, B? Nah, B, you know I'm telling the truth. B laughing at me. You know I'm telling the truth, man. Nah, man. Nah, man. I was a part of a foul situation, man. Granted, I was 17, 18 years old, but nah, man, that wasn't cool. That was not kosher. That was not halal fish that I had. No. For one, listen, when nah, shut up, man. Just shut up. Shut up. But y'all know, man, y'all know good and well when a woman ain't right, pH balance wise, there's a fish and we equate y'all with fish. It did smell like fish, and that's not cool. I mean, I was sitting up there be cleaning some salmon, and I'm like, damn, it just smell like pussy. Like, God, man, like, no, it should not. What's going on? But as a young man, you know, is this normal? You don't know. You know what I'm saying? As a young man, you don't know. You know what I'm saying? My mama ain't never pulled me to the side and say, son, listen, vagina should be a nice smelling thing. You at that age when you're gonna have sex. My dad didn't pull me to the side. That nigga just had pornos everywhere. In hustlers and all kind of sex magazines and never hid them from us. You know what I'm saying? And so I didn't get educated. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know a woman can have an orgasm until high school. What do you mean a woman can have an orgasm? That's stupid. Why would a woman nut? And you know, what did the Quran say? We made you from a sperm drop, a nutfakin. So the Quran know you're gonna be nutting. So nut is sperm. That's what we think as men. So nut is sperm. Why would a woman sperm? That she don't have sperm, so she can't nut. That's stupid. She can't orgasm. That's dumb. You see what I'm saying? Oh, she can. Really? Oh, wait a minute. How? Yeah, man, you know, maybe it's like this little thing right here. If you touch it, nigga, I'm going home tonight. Let me see. Yo, shit, nigga, that work. What? This teenage stuff. You know what I'm saying? We didn't know. We didn't know. So I wish somebody would have told me. Alhamdulillah, man. Think, man. Listen, man. To have a daughter that's a virgin in 2025 and she 18 is a gift from Allah. Alhamdulillah. I can only be grateful. Now the boy, help me with the boy. Help me with the boy. He say he ain't. I think he lied. I don't think he got none. You know, but he was going over this chick house. Used to drive me crazy going over this chick house because she didn't speak. I didn't like it. I didn't like the energy. I couldn't wait for this thing to be over, but I don't want to observe too tough because I don't want to create no scenarios and stuff and whatnot. And he had this one little chick come over and she got on these. I was about to, man, I wasn't there. I was like, man, you should have kicked her ass out. Gonna come over with some Daisy Duke song. Okay. Like, yo, like, listen, man, I'm so old school. My son go over somebody's house. For the first time, I go knock on the door. And so I can meet the parent, like, you know, he over here. I just don't let him venture out in the world like I was venturing out in the world. Man, I could have got kidnapped. I'd be amazed how I'm not a missing kid. Because I, you know, love my mama to death, but boy, I promise you, I seen a video on Instagram when dude was like, man, I thought about it, man. Our parents ain't give a damn about us growing up. We left the house and they said, be back when the street lights come on. We left at 9 o'clock. In the summertime, they probably come back on and I've been gone for 12 hours. And we can't come in the house because if you come in the house, they say you're going to stay your ass in the house if you come in the house. I'm hungry. I didn't cross streets, got chased by dogs. All kind of stuff didn't transpire. And then when I get home, you got the audacity to ask me, are you hungry? Hell yeah, I'm hungry, right? And I'm cracking up at this video because it's the truth, right? Couldn't go in the house. You got to stay in the house. You know what I'm saying? So they wanted you to be gone. But we didn't have no cell phones back then. We didn't have nothing with tracking devices on us, man. We way in the other neighborhoods doing all kind of stuff. All kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So no. I'm tracking the kids and no. No, I wish I would have known some stuff, man. I wish I would have known that if you had kids, when they get grown, it really make you more paranoid, because if you feel like they ain't ready to get out here and they get out here, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, no, I would have probably, ain't no probably, I would have waited. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I would have waited. Alhamdulillah for you don't have no children and you of age to have children, and you probably, you just made decisions not to have children, brother, whatever that may be. Alhamdulillah for you. Because trust me, I wish I would have known. You understand what I'm saying? Nah, Mark, man, I'm telling the truth, man. It's the truth, man. All right, man. So what we got? Old head, how to move past trauma and stop waiting or wasting time on what happened. Yeah, man. You gotta, what's that song? Get in there. We gotta get to the quick identifying things that are related. I had a conversation via text the other day that says something along the lines of I said this. Was easy for me when I was studying the philosophies of India. I heard Swami Natanji is her name. Beautiful soul. I can't find her no more. Beautiful soul. In the Indian philosophy, they got something that's called, I believe, samskaras, that deals with imprints and the evolution of your soul being man and woman. You've made it to the top totem pole. And the theory is there's an aspect of your soul that was mosquito, that was a gnat being swatted at, that just went through a lot of different stages to get to this evolved point of where you at right now. That's the theory, right? And what I like about that philosophy to a degree is if you can just assume in a past life you have done everything wicked under the sun. If you live for infinite and you part of the infinite spirit, and we now see case studies that show reincarnation is real. If you can just go back a millennia, thousands of years, man, there's times where you could have been the person in charge, the person that abused power, the people that abuse people sexually, all kind of stuff. You wasn't always this saint that was on science type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you was, but what if you wasn't? And my point is, if I can walk into a place of understanding within myself that the goal is to learn perfection of self, I don't have no room to blame anybody for any trauma. Because as Tina Marie said in Deja Vu, don't you know if your heart is full of sin? And don't you know when you die, you'll come back again? I thank God, I ain't coming back no more. Yes. In the master plan, you will come back man or woman. Like she was going off in that song. And so, yeah, I accept that I was every rotten type of mother ever in humanity at where I'm at right now. So I don't have it within me to have any blame and any subconscious programs running. Hopefully that works for me, hopefully, you know what I mean? I probe, then you get mad at your mama, woo, whatever. Nah, man, you've been to a point where you understand that some of our parents are our students. My mama is my student. She don't come to class, but when she like, hey, I need to smoke out the house and do something. What you got? You know what I'm saying? Like, how I get rid of this? Wait, what's this? She gonna call me. You know what I'm saying? So she's really a student of mine. You know what I mean? And so everybody got their own trials and tribulations. And then I love the school of thought that says, no. As an intelligent being from God, I'm in agreement to come in when these two have sex. And so I can be the one that, need the environment. They create the environment that I need to get to this point of where I'm at. I needed them for that. You see what I'm saying? So anything that they did to me, I can't hold them responsible because I needed that for the lesson. Yes. So it's a blessing in the lesson, as I call it. So yeah, hurrying up and getting to a place of, resolve and understanding, what I call divine understanding, because we are taught, this is what we taught in the Sufi schools: disease and illnesses is a test to draw you closer to God. I said, that's heavy. That's heavy. That's heavy. That's heavy. Disease and illnesses is a test to draw you closer to God. So if you're going to sit up here and blame such and such and, or this situation, you're going to do that, you're missing the whole point. In fact, just telling you this today. In the Sufi school, if you don't identify the underlying engram or the current that's really the creating point and the origin of it, or you may know what it is and you haven't released that by coming into peace with that. There's been cases when chemotherapy itself would not shrink a tumor, but the moment that the person started to get the divine understanding of the situation, then the chemos worked and started to shrink the tumor. Because they say that the engram is like a glue, and the herb ain't gonna work, the medicine is not gonna work. And some of us may already have this type of experience where there's an issue and you take things for it and it still don't work. It's because we haven't got deep down enough to the actual causation of it and the understanding of it, which gives you the releasing of it. And this is why I'm a big fan of past life regression, because when you can see the origin point, simply seeing it allows you to delete the program, and you ain't got to take none of this stuff and deal with light for 30 days and sometimes months upon months on recovery and stuff and whatnot, which I'm coming to, like, I need to integrate that into the practice. And I showed the testimonial of that before when I learned that technique. Well, woman no longer had asthma attacks no more. You know what I'm saying? All right. All right. Question, Peace. Can you base your career choice off your ascendant? You can base your career, you can, but that doesn't rule the career. The 10th house is the MC that rules career. But hey, if you feel like that ascendant energy is so, because it is how you come off to the world and it's the initiator. If it is of interest, you can. All the chart is just options. Now, whatever the planets are clustered up the most, if that happens, that says that option is the most valuable option right there. So if you got a cluster energy and wonder why you always had this affinity towards doing this type of thing, it's because of that. And that's what you should do, because that's majority of the energy is right there. So I got a theory too that you should minor wherever Saturn is for you. Like Saturn is in my second house. So I got Saturn in the second, which I should minor in finance. You know what I'm saying? I should have, because I was kind of interested in it my freshman year, looking at accounting books, and I balance books daily, and I'm old school. In fact, my accountant preferred my spreadsheet and the way I kept my record versus Rentastic. Rentastic is a software that's linked to your bank account, and then but for every transaction that come out my bank account, I gotta hit a drop down menu and assign, like say I paid $3,000 for a furnace, I gotta tell it what property to go to and stuff like that. But the way it export, maybe it's funny, but when he look at my spreadsheet, he's like, no, bro, I prefer these spreadsheets. So I think Saturn is a placement that's a strong, the house Saturn is in, potentially the sign as well. But I'm leaning a little bit more towards the house. The house Saturn in is not to be neglected, because Saturn does represent career and structure, and you got to deal with the planets where they at. You don't have to deal with the signs sometimes. Saturn rules Capricorn. You ain't got nothing in Capricorn, and then like, so it's no energy there for that energy to say, hey, you need to kind of bring this Cap energy out. But Saturn is somewhere, and that's going to tell you where it needs to come out at. So I'm a low-key fan of Saturn is a minor in career if it's not a reflection of your career. All right. All right. So we good? I ain't missed nothing, did I? All right. Where we at? We like 2 hours, almost 2 hours. All right, man. Oh man, we had a good stream today. No interruptions, no nothing. I know what to do now. All right. All right, man. So love to see you, man. We got Sharita in the chat, the business moderator, free business consultant to get you up on game, man. Powwowing. Real estate opening back up again as well. Just brought somebody on board with that today. You know what I mean? Signed the paperwork today. So congratulations to them. Let's balance, as this thing says, this ticker at the bottom. Let's strive to really balance the physical and the spiritual, because they're really one. But there's times where you got to go get that money. And I told you, we was talking about how patient and merciful God is today. And I was like, yeah, there's a part of me that felt like I turned my back on God when I went to go to the money side. He's like, no, 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 no. And he quoted something on, the righteous and prosperity, because that's part of the equation too. And it is. Quran says it as well. You know what I'm saying? It's part of the equation. You know what I mean? And my whole thing was to take some years off and then come back and really get so immersed and to be able to have divine signs pop up instantly, like you never missed, and things is just popping up. It's like, hey, you dad, like I wouldn't known that I was on this part, but that's part of the law. When you understand the zodiac wheel, everything is a part of the law. Now, there's degrees into this thing as well, and it's really simple because you just got to understand 1 through 12. The money is number 2. It is not high, obviously, it's the second grade. The money is number 2 far as developing your values. Your investments is 6 months later at number 8. So that's the highest aspect that you're going to get on that, right? The truth of the matter is, again, when you get into that 12th house and or Pisces Neptune frequency, the last sign, this is a major graduation point in which the school is patterned after this whole thing, this whole law. Elementary school, the elements are the basic building blocks of the signs. All signs condensed down to an element. So we go to elementary school, and then we go, the last 12, after 12, we can go to college, called a university, a universe. So now after we finish the 12, we go off to the university, we go off to the universe, and then we start studying deeper, broader subject matters. You feel me? And so the 12th house is a gateway. Obviously, it must be completed to get off to the universe, but you can get caught up in physical things and be spiritually imbalanced, but you can also be so spiritually imbalanced to a degree that now you're financially imbalanced, and that is a problem. And so you have to find your sweet spot on what works for you. Is it a lot of money and spirituality, or is it spirituality and then all of a sudden it creates a lot of money, or is it just more freedom? And that's what you're going to learn in cash flow tomorrow. Is financial freedom is just, you don't have to go work for your money. I'm financially free. Am I rich? Would I consider rich? No, absolutely not. But yes, because I'm free. Absolutely, man. I can walk around naked 7 days a week if I want to, right? And work from home and do all kind of things, right? And so that's freedom. But can you go buy this house? That's a great freaking deal right now, Mr. Freedom. Can you go do? Nope. You ain't got the money. So you need the money to make that deal happen, don't you? So now you need to get on. You got to find your spot. You got to find what that balance is. It could be 80-20, 60-40, 50-50, whatever it is, you got to find it to make it work. And guess what? It will adjust over time. It will adjust. That's okay. You just got to know what you got to do and be clear on how you want to set it up. You know what I'm saying? What is imperative for you? It's kind of like, old school financial planning, investment strategies. Do you want to flip the money and grow the money where this 10,000 turns into 11.3? That's 13%. it turns into 11.3. Do you want that? Or do you want to trade that 11,000 and let's just say for, let's say 10,000, and simple math, 10% a year is what? $1,000. So $1,000 a year divided by 12 is probably what, like $83.33 a month, maybe. So do you want to trade that for $83 a month to have income coming in? Because this $83 is going to take away your cell phone bill, and that just frees that up. One less thing you got to worry about. Well, you say, well, $83 ain't no money. But if that was, 100,000 that you gave, and now it's, hypothetically, let's just say it's $8,000 a month, or, that, like, the more you put in, the more you get out when you understand percentages. So I told people, don't be mad at 10% down here because you gave up 10,000 to only get 1,000. But if you had 1,000,000 and you got 100,000 a year and you didn't have to do nothing for it, you'd be like, oh shit, I'm making $100,000 a year just parking my money over here. Yeah, I'm gonna run that play all day long. So 100,000 is valuable to you, but 1,000 to 10,000 is still 10%, and it's the same percent. It's the same thing. So you got to work with what you have to make that work in the same capacity. Don't be mad at the 1,000 because you only had 10. You got to be mad at your input. That's the game. You see what I'm saying? So do you want income or do you want to flip it in this sense? And let me tell you something. If flipping money was easy, everybody be rich. Flipping money ain't easy. The average return in the stock market is 10%. Same in real estate as well. It's not easy. It is absolutely not easy. Everybody be rich. All right. Anyway. All right. So anyway, yeah, get with me. If you need me, hit me up. Get those workbooks, man. Get those workbooks. Oh, I didn't even show y'all the other ones. I'm tripping. Let me see. What's these right here? Then you got these two right here. They're there. They're in the Patreon. Money Magic Synchronicity Journal. Hey, listen, man. This those that manifest, you like that's your thing. This journal says, okay, here goes several techniques that we already have in the Patreon. Do your thing on a daily basis and just use it as a checkoff list so you can know that you're doing your thing. Yes. In the 25 homophones of love and money, salute to Yusef. We created this a couple years ago. Marriage is a business. We figured out that we use, this is Venus, really. It's Venus all day. We figured out that, wait a minute, hold on. There's at least 25 words, homophones, where freaking we express love in financial terms. I want to bond with you. I absolutely want to bond, but a bond is a financial instrument. We hear this from women. I want to, because if you say this, I'm gonna look at you funny. Right? I mean, I want to feel secure. I want security. I want security too, but I ain't gonna tell you I ain't gonna verbalize that one. And I'm not looking, anyway. So security is a financial instrument. I want to feel safe. That's the place where you put the important documents and the money in the stash at. Right? I want you to check on me like a checking account. Yes. So you want somebody that's checking for you. I heard a person say, if you ain't talked to your person in a whole day, that ain't your person. I mean, you don't know what transpired in a whole day. And you ain't talked to that person. That's not your person. That's what they say. Yes. So these are financial terms that we use in, I can't think of some more. I'm having a brain fart in a sense. But there are, I'm sure if I really think about them, they'll pop up. But yeah, we use interest. I'm interested in you. That's where it starts with. And she looked good. And I'm interested. But that's interest, where money on money. Appreciation. I absolutely want somebody who appreciate me. Not even appreciate me. I'm going to go further than that. And this is not ego. Admire me because I want to admire her. Admiration is big. So appreciation is when the value of something goes up. Man, we bought houses at 30 grand, gave the owner 15 down. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna pay you the other 15,000 over time. In a couple of years, these houses worth 100,000 if I want to go ahead and kind of remodel it and clean it up and put it on the market. You know what I'm saying? And so appreciation. Why are we using financial terms in love or vice versa? Why are we using love terms in finances? So what are we supposed to do as a unit? These are synonymous. We're supposed to be getting it. If we understand these principles within the dynamic of our love relationship and the dynamic of getting to the bag, then we should be able to get it. This is why it's important to really embody Venus. Embody that, the Venus principle. I call it the Venus code. All right. So that's there. I posted in the chat, I posted in the Patreon front page today. There's a new collections tab that is called free workbooks. So that's 4 workbooks that's there. All right. Again, the homophones are just knowledge. It ain't nothing to do. It's no homework in that one. Okay. I mean, people scared of homework. But your other ones is homework. The other 3 is definitely homework. Okay. Homework. Oh, yeah, but for real, you know what I'm saying? I said interest. Yeah, man. Think about it. You know what I'm saying? Think about some of the terms that we use to express endearment and see if they are financial terms. Even ass is like asset. Okay, we got a T on it. You know what I mean? But shit, look at that ass, girl. I love that ass. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you know, that's something, you know. So it's a lot, man. We identify at least 25 of them. You know what I mean? All right, man. So we're gonna get out of here on Kathar, which is a very, very short surah. It deals with prosperity. All right. And then I am going to make prayer after that. And I'd love to see y'all on the Patreon. See y'all tomorrow on Saturday's class. I think it's at 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock. One of those right there. All right. Cool. We out of here. Appreciate you.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر